afternoon, it's Sophie. I'm going to show you some exercises to help with your back and core strength. If you've been doing quite a bit of gardening, for example, this weekend because the weather was nice, you might find that these are quite relieving. I'm going to try and give you some easier versions as well to do and sort of give you graduations to the top. If you can't do them or it hurts your back, then do stop, and you can always ask me a question separately, and I can talk you through and hopefully coach you through to get stronger. So we're going to start on our backs first of all, and in fact we're going to do it all on the back, and you're just going to do the usual, just warm your lower back up. So flatten the back and then arch it, so you're tilting the pelvis back and then forwards and then back and forwards like that until you find your neutral. So we're going to start with the bridge, and what we're going to do is we're just going to make sure our heels are quite close to our bum. The closer they are to your bum, the less like you are to cramp in your hamstrings, and it makes it a bit easier. I prefer hands flat on the floor so that your shoulder blades are also flat on the floor, but some people, especially if you're learning and trying to figure out that you are doing it correctly, prefer to keep their hands on their hips there. I don't mind which you do. So you're going to flatten your back, squeeze your bum muscles and lift vertebrae by vertebrae, and you're basically trying to lengthen that way and lengthen that way. We don't want flaring of the ribs, we don't want the arching of the back, so that would be wrong, and this should be nice and flat. We don't want that, so making sure your ribs stay nice and close and you're not arching in the back. That's very bad. We don't want that. We want length that way. Okay, and then you hold it up there for a count of 5, and then take a breath in to prepare, and as you breathe out you come down vertebrae by vertebrae all the way down, squeezing that last bit so you really get the small of your back until you get into neutral. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. Flatten, squeeze, bum muscles, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen until you're up on your shoulder girdle. And then breathe in. And as you breathe out, come down vertebrae by vertebrae. This all just helps mobilize every part of your back. Now this next one, if you are struggling, going up again, if you are struggling with the first ones, just stick with that. If you're strong enough, straighten the leg and then straighten the other leg. There shouldn't be any wobble with the hip, shouldn't be doing that. If they are, you're not strong enough to do it yet, and don't worry. Then come back down again and the breath out. We're going to try that one more time. Again, if you can't do it, stick with just doing the ordinary ones. Leg out in front and back, leg out and back, breath in and breath out. As you come down, really squeeze your tummy muscles to get the arched bit of your back down flat. Then the next one, the last one, which everybody should be able to do, is again go back up, and the arms go up and over your head. So this is quite easy. Now the tricky thing is to get back down from here, because if you, like me, you're quite tight in your back, you can struggle. And as you can see, that sometimes arches too much when you're really tight, and the challenge is to keep your rib cage as you go down and keep it stuck there and not at the end up like that because your arms are over your head because you're tight. So that is the challenge, just keep that flat. If you struggle with that, bring your arms up to here as you come back down, and then bring them down once you're there. So I'll show that variety as well. So we go back up, this is the last one. Arms go over your head. If you're happy in that position, come back down. If you struggled with that, bring your arms to here and then bring your back all the way down. You should find that a little bit easier. So that should give you varieties on those. The next is we're going to do basically a sit-up, but not a sit-up. It is a Pilates style sit-up or rehab type style sit-up. So all it is, it's basically crunches. I prefer the hands behind your head, and you just should, let me just come down down a little tiny bit. So the elbow should be just visible in your periphery, so not completely flat down. They do come forward a little bit, so you can just see them in your periphery. And you're going to lift your head up, so the weight of your head is taken in your hands, just up a little bit, then tuck your chin a little bit, and so that your shoulder blades come off, and that's it. So the shoulder blades come up, and that's it. Now, what we don't want to see, we don't want to see that. Don't want to see doming of there or arching of the back. It stays flat, but you don't flatten the back. Your weight is still in the sacrum. There is still a little bit of a gap there. So it's not flat like that. That is not correct. We don't want that. We want there the arch, that you're still working your core, and then come back down again. Okay, I'll show that again. I'm going to lift up, tuck your chin in, and that will help you bring up your shoulder blades. Do not flatten the back, and come back down again. Okay, breath in to prepare, and breathe out as you lift up. This should really work your lower abs, and then come back down again. Breath in to prepare, and breathe out. And you really should be getting contact with your rib cage and the sacrum, the very lower part of your back, but not that arched bit. That should be slightly off, okay? Breathe in to prepare, and breathe out as you relax down. Like one more. And just make sure that you are keeping that back nice and flat. Not back, stomach muscles nice and flat. Make sure you're not doming. This time we're going to go across. We're going to go lift up, and we're going to go right elbow towards left, and back down again. Up and down again. Okay, key thing is, again, ribs stay close to the floor, but not the middle of your the lower part of your back stays off, so it's just the sacrum. One more, and your rib cage stay nice and glued. We're going the other way now, and that head should feel quite heavy in your hands. And this works your obliques, so works your waist muscles. Last one. Again, this also takes a bit of time to get used to, not to dome. A mistake a lot of people make when they're struggling as they do, and that domes. Can you see there's a little bit of a dome happening there? We don't want that. It should stay flat and low without flattening the back like that. A lot of people get taught very different things, and when you're working your core, we don't want the back flattening. We want the muscles here working to hold your back and your front stable, and you shouldn't need to flatten. There'll be a little bit of flattening, but not completely stuck to the floor. The only with the bridges you have to flatten, but with those you don't have to. And then the last one we're going to do roll ups and roll downs. Now we're going to start sitting up. So roll onto your side and push yourself up that way, because it's safe for your back. So we're going to start sitting up. If you've never done these before, you may want to do it with the band, which we did the other day. So it goes round your feet like so. Have your legs straight out in front of you. Arms either side. Now we did the half roll downs with these. So it's sat up nice and straight to start with. You do a slump and a C curve forward, and then you roll yourself down. And this is where, if you're not strong enough, the band will help you go gradually, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way down. And the last thing to come down is your head. Don't let your head flop down. You need to bring it down with control. Equally coming up, you lift your head, and then you tuck it in, and then you bring yourself up. And this is where the band can really help you. Let it help you, don't pull against it. Actually just keep quite relaxed, and actually it should bring you up. if you don't need that, that's for those that are early. Sometimes people need weights on their legs, sometimes the lower legs. That can help as well if that still isn't strong enough, but it should be. And as you get stronger, you'll find it gets easier. For everybody else, I prefer hands up here. And again, you're going to take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, you go into the C shape and down, vertebrae by vertebrae, and the arms come up and bring your head down and over, and your arms go all the way over your head. And you bring your arms up, lift your head, then tuck your head in, tuck chin in, and then lift your shoulders and bring yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae. Sit up nice and straight again, and then try and lean forward gently to try and touch your toes. By all means, loosen your knees. I've got a stiff back generally, so I find this. There are a lot more people who are a lot more flexible than me. I have naturally stiff hips and a naturally stiff back because of injuries I've got in my back over the years. So you know, if you can do more than I can, don't worry. As long as it doesn't hurt you, go ahead and do it. Right, we're going to do another one of those. We're going to stick with this variety. But if you're sticking with the bands, same thing. Nice C shape. Keep those arms nice and rolled and shoulders rolled forward. Going down, the slower you go down, the more control you have over your core. And you're just doing vertebrae by vertebrae. And you want to do it as softly and gently as possible and not thumping down. We don't want thumping down. And then arms up again, lift your head, tuck your chin in, really work that core, and it will bring you up again into that C shape, and then straighten up. I'm going to come down because we move so you can get a slightly different angle. Last one. I tend to find after, touch your toes again before we go down, just to give you an idea. You'll find it gets easier. I find normally by the third one, I can actually reach my toes much easier. And then last one. So take a breath in and then sink. And as you breathe out, keep that control. Keeping your stomach muscles as pulled in as possible. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Arms go up and over your head. And then just take this last opportunity as we're down floor to stretch all the way out. And then we're going to bring our knees to our chest because we've worked our lower back quite hard. We're then going to place your legs and knees together. Have your arms out like a crucifix. And you're going to roll your legs all the way to the right as far as you can go. If you can touch the floor, great. If you can't, don't worry. Just as far as you can go. And come back to the middle. Same with the other side. Go as far as you can to the left. And then come back to the middle. We're going to do 3 varieties of this. And then turn again, go all the way to the right. And then turn your head to the left. Some people also bring their arm over to the left. That is up to you. It doesn't matter. You can or you can't. It doesn't matter. It's basically you're turning your head the opposite direction. Engage your core. Bring your legs back to the middle and head back to the middle. Breath in to prepare and breathe out as you go to the left. Legs as far as you can go to the left, and then turn your head to the right. Again, up to you whether you want to add the arm or not. Doesn't matter. Again, breath in to prepare, and as you breathe out, bring your legs back to the middle and your head goes back to the middle. Now, the final version of this, again, go to the right, head to the left. If you want to stretch, you don't have to do this, but if you want to stretch your upper leg, so this will be your left leg out, and point it, it gives you a greater stretch. I love this. This really gives me a nice stretch along the side here. I really like this. If it's too powerful or too uncomfortable, don't have to do it. Legs back, breath in to prepare and breathe out. And as you bring your legs back to the middle, Same again, breath in and breathe out. We go to the left, head to the right, lengthen that right leg. And straighten it if you can handle it. I really like, because like I said, it gives a nice stretch along there. And as we did do a bit of oblique work, it'll be nice to do that. Breath in to prepare, and as you breathe out, bring your legs back to the middle and head back to the middle. And that's it.